What's up, everybody? I am here, as you can see, flying solo today. Um, we had no new episode last week, as you can see. We had I threw out the best of, which I was going to do anyway. I had plans to do like kind of like an end of the year thing, with me and Tom taking a break and all that. I knew that we were going to be ending soon, but I had like two more episodes planned that we were going to do. We were going to do one other one, and then we were going to end with like a New Year's special kind of thing. But unfortunately, Tom had a loss in the family, so he is unable. He was unable to be available to do one last week, so that's why I released the best of, and he's not available this week either. So again, I hope you can all just send some love and condolences out to him and his family. And my hope is to get him back to do one final episode, maybe next week, if it happens. I'm hoping, and we can kind of just wrap this season up together. But that being said, I didn't want to not do anything this week. Again, I'm about consistency. I'm about finishing what you start. So whether there's a million people watching or 4, I'm going to finish what I start. So luckily for me, though, because I was thinking, what the heck am I going to talk about on my own this week? And as you can see on the screen, luckily enough, Wonka came out. Now, if you guys watched us from earlier episodes, you all know that in episode 4, we compared all the Wonka movies. We did the Gene Wilder, we did the Johnny Depp, and we briefly talked about this one. Because, there wasn't much known about it and stuff. And so we didn't really talk into it. We had our thoughts. I know I made fun of him and I said, Muad'Dib Wonka. I only saw the guy in, more serious roles, which he's very good in. He's a very good actor. And again, as you're going to see, even more so now, I think, to be honest with you. And I'm just talking to him as an actor. I don't know anything about him as a person in real life, but I'm just talking as an actor right now. So I had all these thoughts, about it. And again, I am comparing it to the original from 71, the Gene Wilder one that I grew up on. That will always have a special place in my heart. So last week it came out, and me and my son went to see it. And again, I had my thoughts on it before I even went in. And I am gonna start with a non-spoiler, and I will promise you I will say multiple times, and maybe I'll even throw something up on the screen that spoilers are coming. But for this beginning part, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it. And let me just come out and say it. I freaking enjoyed the movie. I did. I liked it. And I'm going to tell you something. If you know anything about me, I'm very critical of movies. Very critical. I'd rather watch a movie over and over again than sit through something that's just awful just to watch something new. I mean, that's just, I won't do it. So I think, I was looking because on my movie app for the theater, you can see, how many times, all the movies you went to and the year you went to and all that. And it's interesting to see during, the whole stuff that happened, how I didn't go for like a year and a half. And then I started going again. But for 2023, before December, end of November, I had only gone like twice. I saw like 2 movies the whole year. And now in December, I've seen 2 already, and I want to see a third, which is the Iron Claw, which I think looks really good. Again, growing up on wrestling and stuff, and knowing about the Von Erichs, I really want to go see that. So I'm trying to wrangle the family and maybe go see it on Christmas. So we'll see. If I do, maybe I can jump on here and give you a quick review on that if you like this format of me just maybe jumping on and giving movie reviews and stuff. Um, but so yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I really did. I really did like it. I really did like it. He did a really good job. He did his thing. He made Wonka his. So he did his own thing with Wonka, and he did a good job with it. Okay, I had worries about him being whimsical and stuff. He did it his way. He did not. He is not Gene Wilder. He was not. He was not a Wonka that you didn't know if you turned your back, he was going to stab you. Like he's not that type of Wonka. And then Depp was kind of too much in the other direction. I think he's a nice, not so much middle because he's not evil in any way, but he's just a good Wonka. He's not over the top in any sense. In any sense, weird or just happy and fun. He's not over the top. But there's still all those little pieces of, that magical stuff that Wonka had. Like, there was something magical about him. And they really show that in this movie. It's really done well, I think. So, I don't know, out of 5 stars, shit. In this day and age, I'll give it a 4. Maybe I'll even give it a 4.2, man. I really did enjoy it. I would watch it again. I would watch it again. And that is a lot for me too, is I would watch it again. I would add it to something I would watch over and over. I did like it. And so yeah. So I would go see it in the theater. I think you should see it in the theater. Again, let's support really good stuff that we like, that respects the characters, but does their spin, but respects the characters. And again, you'll see they do their own spin on stuff, but they do it well. And it's part of the story, not the story. It's really done well. So here you go. Why don't we get into it? So here it is. Spoiler warning. We're going for it. Spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, shut the movie off, go watch it, and then come back. Okay? You've been warned. All right. So this is a Wonka origin story. Okay? It starts off with him. Now, when I say origin, you still get some memories of stuff he's done. So you're not seeing Wonka so much as a little kid growing up. You're still seeing him as an adult, but he's a young adult. He's younger than Wilder was. Okay? He doesn't even have a factory yet. He's just starting out. He's finally perfected his chocolate and everything, and now he wants to go to the hub where all the famous chocolatiers are. Okay? Now, real quick before I take this picture away, they did a really good job of the first shop when he finally opens it, having that feel of like the factory from 71. It was almost like a little throwback. It wasn't exact, but you definitely could see that they were referencing 71. So that was really done well. And I just wanted to point that out. He's actually in a tree in the middle doing his little thing. And by the way, let me tell you all this. It is a musical. There's a lot of music in it. There's a lot of singing in it. But so was 71. 71 has many songs that you sing to this day. So, but just to let you know, it is still a musical. Okay. So he goes to the place, the main hub of all the chocolatiers, and he wants to show off his chocolate. So he sets it up right in the middle of the main square there, and that's when a little song and dance thing happens. He's talking about these chocolates that have this little moth in it, so that when you eat it, you float. So it kind of gave you why it had that property. So that was cool. There's actually a little moth inside the chocolate. Um, so he's immediately causing a hubbub in the middle of this town square and uh, raises the eyebrows of the chocolatiers, obviously. And that's where the three chocolatiers come in. Now, the only one that we're really going to care about right now is Slugworth. Again, because I do reference 71. In the book, there's the other chocolatiers. I know this, but again, I am kind of comparing to 71 a little bit for me. So just come, follow me. Join me on this little journey. So here they are. Slugworth's in the middle. So he's kind of the ringleader of all the other ones. They're kind of equals, but he's kind of the godfather of chocolate, in my opinion. You know, he kind of runs the show. And immediately upon them eating this, they know how good he is and how much better he is than them. So, what do they have to do? Instead of having some healthy competition, they have to crush him. So, unfortunately, I want to make sure I bring up the right picture. We have, and I really did like this character. This is Keenan, from the comedian, and he plays the chief of police. Now, I wasn't sure how I was going to like him either at first, but he actually does a really good job. I really enjoy his character, and he's kind of like the guy on the take, which is funny. But instead of money or power or women or any drugs, he has chocolate. They pay him in chocolate. Now, this chocolate that they're paying him in is actually chocolate they're skimming off the top and saving for themselves in a vault, but charging the same amount to everyone. So they're still making the same amount of money, but yet they're skimming and having this big vault of chocolate, and they all add to it. All three of the chocolatiers add to it. So they have plenty of extra chocolate to pay people off on the side to do all this stuff. And again, he's the chief of police, and he's got a whole brigade of police officers with him that help him kind of keep Wonka down. That's it. They said, here, millions, thousands, trillion, whatever much chocolate you want, basically. Just keep him down. That is their main job. So the whole show, the whole movie for the most part, they're trying to suppress him so he can't sell his chocolate and become the best chocolatier there is and not be a jerk off and skim off the top and be giving people actually more than they paid for. So now Wonka, with his last couple, there's a whole song about, the last couple of bits of silver pieces or whatever they call them in this that he has. So he's broke. So now he can't sell his chocolate. Stuff's been confiscated. He can't show it to anyone. And he has nothing, and he's going to be homeless. So that's when this prick, which is, again, I say prick because his character's a prick, but great character. Great character. Just evil enough and a piece of shit enough where like the young kids could watch it and be like, wow, I don't like him. Like, you can go with your kids and they'll know he's an asshole, but it's not too much. So he says, hey, you don't gotta say, and it's wintertime as well, so it's freezing cold. He's like, you don't have to stay out here by yourself. I got a place where you can go. So he takes him to this laundromat that also, I guess, has apartments above it. That's where Miss Scrubbit comes in. Another piece of shit. Okay? So now, they're all pretending to be nice to him. And of course, Wonka's, It's almost like Wonka's been through this. The 71 Wonka's been through all this already. And that's why he's kind of cynical and hard, older. And this is like almost like him younger, where he didn't have that yet. So he doesn't know any better. He can't even read yet. And that's what gets him into trouble. Now, obviously, in 71, you know the famous line, etc., etc., e pluribus et casum. That whole thing. He can read in that, for sure. So it's kind of interesting. I just wanted to point that out. So she says, yeah, no problem. And he's like, well, tomorrow I'm going to try to sell my stuff again. I'm going to try to make more money. I can pay you tomorrow. She's like, no problem. Pay me by this time, blah, blah, blah. And then just sign this contract. Now, the young girl that almost becomes his sidekick later, which I'll show you her in a second, but she tries to warn him right out the gate, hey, don't sign it. Now, at this point, you don't know he can't read yet. And he goes, what's this? And pulls it, and it's a whole long thing of stuff. And so you think, okay, he's going to read it. And he looks at it and says, this all checks out. And he signs it. Later, you find out he can't read, so he had no idea what it said. But basically, now he's a slave to her. He's got to do laundry to pay off this exorbitant amount. So he's basically a prisoner and a slave. And then he winds up being down. He gets thrown down. Again, I kind of got pictures all over the place with all of these people. Unfortunately, all of these people ran into the same thing as he did. They went there, down on their luck. She took advantage of them. They signed their life away, basically, and they're trying to pay it off. So they're prisoners down there. And that's also where he meets his sidekick. They hit it off. He's talking about the chocolate. She wants to be a part of it. I'm going to speed this up a little. I'm not going to give you every detail, but basically their goal becomes sell the chocolate to get everybody out of there, pay off their debts and get them out of there. Okay? And as he's staying there, he runs into someone stealing his chocolate. He keeps telling everybody. And a little orange man with green hair is coming in and stealing all his chocolate when he makes it. And this is happening while he's like a slave to the people doing all the laundry. So they're doing laundry. That's their work. And they're making all the money upstairs. Scrub it and Bleacher are running the thing. So nobody believes him, of course. Now, when you hear orange skin and green hair, you all know what that is, right? So, long story short, at some point, he finally catches him. And it's an Oompa Loompa. And he has no idea why this Oompa Loompa keeps chasing him and stealing his chocolate. He has no idea. Well, come to find out, now we get another little side story that Wonka went to the island of the Oompa Loompas, which he found 4 magic cocoa beans, and he took them. And it was on this particular Oompa Loompa's watch. You know what? I didn't even bring it up yet. My bad. There's the Oompa Loompa. So it was on his watch that the cocoa beans got stolen. So now, by Oompa Loompa law, he has to go and get back that amount of chocolate before he can be done with it. So that's why he's been stealing the chocolate and been following him for all this time. And he had no idea. So that's happening on the side. All right, we're going to speed forward. They were able to sneak out. They all started working together. All the people that were in servitude and the little girl started to work together to get out and sell his chocolate so they could make money. So they could actually open up his shop because that was his dream. because that was his mother's wish for him, and his mother was gone. And his mother said, "One day you will, be successful and everything, and open up your shop, and I'll be there." And that was his big thing. We'll have his mom there. And again, we never had that angle with Wonka, a mom angle. We had a dad angle in Depp, and no angle in the first one. So you had no idea. But this one, we had the mom angle. And I liked it so much better than the dad angle. So much better. So much better. So that was his whole reasoning why he needed to go to this place and open this shop so his mother would be there to see it, even though she was dead. So they finally sell enough chocolate to open this place. And that's where that scene, the very first one where he's standing on the tree, this is in his shop. He finally opens up the shop. And I mean, it's everybody loves it. They're going there. People are buying stuff. They're eating the things. But well, come to find out, it was all poisoned by Bleacher and Miss Scrubbit by Slugworth paying them to do it. So now everybody was having these weird reactions, growing hair, all kinds of weird stuff was happening. And on a side, on a little sidestep that I didn't see coming, they torched the fucking place. I didn't know they were going to do that. They got pissed and torched the fucking place. I was like, holy shit. I mean, it's kind of relevant, but just saying. Torched it. Now they have nothing again. The guy has nothing again. So then this other side thing starts happening with the little girl where she's adopted originally and she wears this thing around her neck like one of the chocolatiers, Slugworth. So you're like, okay, so are they related? Is that her dad? Who is that then? But it was similar, but it had a different letter on it. Well, come to find out, Slugworth's brother had gotten with a commoner and had that baby. When his brother died, she went to Slugworth for help, and he just took the baby, gave it to Miss Scrubbits, threw it down the laundry, like literally threw it down the laundry chute, gave it Miss Scrubbits, and that's where she was up until that point where she was what? 14, 12, 11. I don't even know how old she was. Between 10 and 14 she is, obviously. But yeah, she was there her whole life. So now there's this little side thing, like who was she at that point? You didn't know. And then later you find out all that. But, I don't want to give the whole ending away, but I really want people to go see it. But I'm going to kind of not give detail, but I'm going to kind of wrap it up and give you an overall for the rest of this. So finally, they get him in a bind where they're like, listen, we'll pay off all those people's debts again. All these people's debts and the little girl with Miss Scrubbits if you leave and never sell your chocolate here again. And of course, Wonka, wanting to help everybody, feeling there was no other way, he went. So then he gets on a boat and something don't feel right. Something's weird. So he goes out, he's sitting on the boat, he's cold and everything. All of a sudden, here comes the Oompa Loompa. He's on the boat too, because he's never going to leave him until he gets all his chocolate back. Come to find out, there was something fishy. There was dynamite on the boat. There was no one driving it. They just put dynamite. They were going to try to off him. Well, luckily, again, they saw it, were able to jump out, blah, blah, blah. Now, they've got to get rid of the girl, too. But the girl, they're trying to get the proof who the girl is. And Slugworth doesn't want that. Long story short, Wonka tries to save her. They both get stuck in the vault where all the chocolate is. Okay? I don't want to again give you all the details, but luckily, the Oompa Loompa decides to come back and help him out because he needs to get his chocolate. If Wonka's dead, how's he going to get his chocolate? So he comes back. He swoops in, saves them from drowning in the chocolate. Okay, they were going to drown. Slugworth and the other chocolatiers were trying to drown them in their vault of chocolate. And then the Oompa Loompa saved them. They got out, and as you can tell, the bad guys got called out. And also, a little side note too. I want to tell this, which was kind of funny. Just let me find it. If you all remember him, the chief of police, that's him at the beginning. I don't have a picture of it, but by the end, he's 500 pounds from eating all the chocolate he got paid off and doing all these things for the chocolatiers in Subway. So I thought that was kind of funny too. At the end, he couldn't even get out of the car. He was like 500 pounds. But after they get saved, after the chocolatiers get ruined, at least for the time being, because I mean Slugworth was still around in '71, and I'm assuming he'd still be around if this continued. But finally, he's able to be there and have his people enjoy his chocolate. And that's when, and this got me, ladies and gentlemen, this got me. He sees his mother out in the crowd. Now, again, it's just a vision. It's in his head. But now he knows he made it. And in spirit, his mother was there. And I thought that was just such a nice ending. And then there's this little like credit scene. It's not even like an after credit scene. During the credits, where at the very end, he finally goes and finds this castle. And he starts singing, and all the parts start going up, and it's like the beginnings of his factory. And he convinces the Oompa Loompa, he pays him off, and then he convinces him, hey, I need somebody to help me run this thing, basically. You interested? And he turns around and boom. There's the end of the movie. People, go see the movie and support this, okay? It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I want to watch it again. My son enjoyed it. Now, again, my son grew up also. I made him. We watched the Gene Wilder one. And so I wanted his take on it, too, because he didn't grow up as much as I did with it. You know, it came out in '71. I was born in '74. It was only 3 years later. So it wasn't that long between I was old enough to understand Willy Wonka and watch it. It would have still been airing on TV, probably. I'm sure it aired on TV back then. I'm not 100% sure, but and it was good, and I'm glad I saw it in the theater. I am glad I saw it in the theater. I really am. So go see it over the Christmas. Well, by the time this goes out, it'll be between Christmas and New Year's when I put this out. So hey, if you're not doing nothing for New Year's, go and see the movie and support it if it's still in the theater, in your local theater or whatever. Go check it out. I really liked it. And if not, make sure you stream it. Let them know you liked it because I really enjoyed it and I'd watch it again. So I'm here to say, ladies and gentlemen, and I am not afraid to ever admit it, I was wrong about this movie, what I said in episode 4. And again, check it out. Watch episode 4 if you can first. But if you made it this far, whatever, still go watch it. Because that's when I talk about, me and Tom talk about Gene Wilder in '71. We talk about Depp. And then we have our suspicions about this. And I was wrong. And I enjoyed it. Go see it. And yeah. And that's it on this subject. Go see Wonka in the theaters or watch it at home. Now, like I said, guys, I hope we can be back next week with something to wrap up the season. And we're still going to take a break. January, we're not going to have any new episodes. We'll have some new videos possibly, and we'll show some behind the scenes stuff. But I've got some stuff I got to do schooling wise, and I really want to concentrate on that because I still have to work. I still have clients and stuff. So um, I want to do that. But I'm sure we'll spit out something for you guys, something that'll entertain you, keep you keep you around until we start another season. And again, I don't know what that'll be. It might only be 2 a month. It might be one every other week. I don't know if we'll definitely go back to every week. We'll have to see. You know, we both live very far apart, and we both have very different schedules. Not to mention the time difference. So it doesn't work sometimes. So, but I still feel you can come here and enjoy yourself with something. Maybe it's not an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes. Maybe it's only 30. But let me know if you like the review thing. I'd be happy to do it again. I love movies and I love TV shows, and I'd love to give you my opinion on them. But again, I hope everyone just give a little heart down there if you do see this for Tom, for his family. Condolences. And I hope he'll be back for one more next week before the season's over. If not, I'm just going to say now, thank anybody who's watched and listens, who's subscribed, who's followed. I appreciate it. It's not easy doing this. There's a lot of stuff out there. It's, you know, the algorithm is a fickle bitch. I don't know what she's going to do on any platform. I can only be me and put out stuff that I think is entertaining. And if you find it entertaining, please like, share, subscribe. You know the whole thing. Whatever platform you're on, wherever you're hearing this, you know there's a thing you can press and let us know you like us or want to follow us and hear more. So please do that. Check out our merch. Go on Instagram. The link's in the bio for all the merch for my business and for the podcast. And as always, and since Tom ain't here, I'm going to do it for him. I don't have a quote. That's Tom's thing. But I'm going to end off like he does. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Go to Harris, I'm telling you, everybody. Bye. Go to Harris, I'm telling you, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Harris, I'm telling you.